thing you'll notice with these mini challenge cars, because they're light, they have big brakes, so the braking distances are really, really short.
Oh, absolutely. You can go to, with ABS as well, you go down to about, in a V8 supercar, you'll brake at, let's call it 180 odd metres into any one corner, where the minis will go down to about 80 metres. They're just unbelievable. As Stokel's recovering from his run down the grass, he's already got past Magro there, so he's up into 4th place. The battle for the championship here this weekend. Stokel's out in front, and Denya's the one closing. He's up in P2 at the moment.
John Magro making his mini challenge debut. He's actually a mango farmer from North Queensland. He'll be wondering what's going on with this weather. He'd be freezing down here at Sandown, wouldn't he? It's about 10 degrees outside. The track temperature is cold as, so obviously these guys, the engines love it though, I've got to say. The engines love the cold. Oh, and you can see
on the replay, that's why Tony Bates was around, got a tap from Brendan Cook.
A little bit of assistance there for that one.
This is a good fight. 5th, 6th and 7th. Magro being followed by David Stillwell and also Jeff Emery, who's doing double duty this weekend in both the Mini and the Fujitsu V8 Supercar.
Absolutely. So you got Emery, who's done that V8 Supercar experience. Stillwell, he raced a little BMW E30 in club events and around here at Sandown, he's done a lot of work. And obviously Magro, who's having his first run in a Mini, and he's doing a very good job.
The 23-year-old from Queensland with experience in open wheelers, Formula Ford and Formula 3. But this is very different.
It's a good little battle going on here. So David Stillwell, he's done a number of these races. He's had some great success. He's really starting to improve his times, and he's getting a lot closer to the front of the grid. So we expect him to see over the next few rounds a decent championship contender and Grant Sherrod in the background. Geez, that was a close one. When you get these cars sideways, and we've got Brendan Cook spinning again.
That's 2 spins from basically 2 or 3 laps. So he is right down the back. On board with John Modesta. And that one, unassisted.
All by himself on that one.
Back to the front, Nathan Karate under fire from Grant Denya, who came into this round 3rd in the championship. He's been able to move to 2nd because of Chris Alajarjan's horror weekend.
Oh, horror weekend. It was bad for Chris. He unfortunately had a... Oh, around the outside there is Denya. Can he get through? Yes, he does.
Oh, it's tight. Karate gives him room.
What great racing. You can see there now it's just a drag race down to the first corner. And it looks like Karate had the best gear selection for the exit and was able to get on the power and get away.
Don't forget, Grant's carrying 25 kilograms of ballast. Nathan's carrying just 10, and Scotty Barguana's lurking as well.
Oh, Scotty, he buys into the action now, so we've got a real battle going here. This is for the 3 spots on the podium. All these guys are fighting for it. They all want to be on the podium, and Stokel, particularly at the back there, he needs the points.
Karate leads the way. More after the break. There's been plenty going on at Sandown while we're away in Mini Challenge. James Tompkins, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, just passed 2 cars at turn 1.
Oh, that was impressive stuff. Looked like BJ Cook ran a bit wide and gave James a chance. He's really proven to be a handy race car driver, isn't he?
He's done a great job in the Pizza Capers Mini. The 43-year-old, he's a 6-time Olympian in rowing, and he hasn't said no to going to London in 2012.
Hey, this guy's an absolute superstar. I mean, as a sportsman, you look up to guys like this and what they've achieved in their careers. But to actually turn up here, he's done those celebrity races. Look at him, looks like he's cuddling a tennis ball there, doesn't he? When he's done the celebrity races at the Grand Prix, and he turns up here, and he's actually done a very, very good job.
You know what, though? He's still living down that whole peaches, mango, peaches.
Why wouldn't you? He gets paid for it.
David Stillwell and Jeff Emery, this has been a really tight fight. Grant Sherrod has closed in here.
Oh, great close racing. A bit of battle these guys have had all weekend, really. They've raced throughout both races, nose to tail, and still managed to get on top of Emery in the last race, but Emery's going to be pushing very hard to get back on top in this one.
And that's the thing, with Mini Challenge and categories like it, it's a one-make category, so everyone's got the same Dunlop control tyre, the same Mini Challenge R56 machinery. Getting past takes real effort.
It does, and it's all about getting a good slipstream, making sure your mid-corner speed's up, squeeze the power on, and get the car flowing. And once you can get to that point, you can then try and position yourself for an out-braking manoeuvre at the end of the straight. That's where you can see you've got to feed the car in nice and gentle, let the rear take the grip, and then really just carry speed through the corner.
Last year,
a certain Jay Bargwanna won the Sandown Mini Challenge round. Just explain, obviously we've got Scott and your cousin out there racing. What's your tie-up with Bargwanna Motorsport?
Yeah, well, obviously last year I did race the Mini Challenge Series, and unfortunately we had a lot of success in that, so we've tried to carry that on this year. We've brought BJ Cook in as a driver. The two cars we raced last year, Scott's still in his car, BJ Cook's in my car from last year, and we've got Rock Energy Drinks as our sponsor for the team. There's a look down the inside. Oh, you know what happens when that goes wrong. We've seen that earlier this weekend. So a really good close battle here. Dave Stillwell keeps his composure as Emery keeps pushing on. You can see he's got that run there. So can he position himself to get up the inside on brakes? It's
a real favourite, this 3.1 kilometre Sandown circuit. Very fast, very flowing, but still requires a lot of rhythm.
Oh, it does. And whilst we've seen this circuit over the years talked about as a horsepower track, it really does come down to the braking and handling of the car as well. It's so critical getting the cars over the top of the hill, getting the car through these third gear sort of medium speed corners. Balance is important, and obviously getting onto the straights, getting what power you've got down to the road.
John Magro keeping in touch, but just ran a little bit wide at turn one.
It was a good battle there. We had the 5 cars pretty much nose to tail, but Magro's just dropped off the back of that slight mistake. So there's pressure on here. Scott Bargwanna trying to catch up the back of Stokel. Stokel carrying that 50 kilos, so you can just see that it just hurts his car that little bit coming onto the straight.
Some new backing for, well, your team from Thermaline, who, that's the company, in fact, that built the cauldron for the 2000 Sydney Olympics that Kathy Freeman so famously lit on that wonderful night.
Absolutely. A lot of us remember that about 9 years ago, but Thermaline have come on board as a sponsor for our team. And, yeah, that's one of their biggest projects, a Newcastle-based engineering company. So they're welcome to the first time in motorsport and very excited about it.
Scott Bargwanna in fourth. The man, though, leading the way, Nathan Karate in the Glory Team racing car from WA. Grant Denyer just hasn't quite had an answer for him.
Karate's been very strong this year. He's slowly sneaked up to the point where now, this weekend, he's really been the man to beat. He missed pole position by 7, wait for it, 7 1,000ths of a second. That was just unbelievable. But he's really been the man to beat in racing, so that car's quite quick. And he's out on his final lap now. He's won the first race. He did have that spin in the race one that was cancelled, so he's quite lucky there. But he's managed to win what ended up being the first race and now leading the last race of the weekend.
Yeah, we should point out race 1 was declared a non-race, so no points awarded. Just 2 races for the weekend, but we still refer to them as races 2 and 3. Grant's throwing everything at this last lap. Up over the exit curve, the exit of turn 4. And this is the run down the back straight, which is actually longer than the front straight.
It's so critical with the open diff in these cars, the way the diff works. You've really got to be smooth on that power. You can hear Grant's car wheel spinning a little bit, and he's trying to get in the toe for Karate to have one last crack. He wants to win the round. He's had a bit of success this year, Grant. So the championship's really coming down to a battle between he and his teammate Paul Stokel.
He's pulling double duty again this year with
he's missed the apex there.
Yeah, no good there.
He's pushed quite hard, and he's really cost himself an opportunity to win this one. So Karate's looking like he might be the man to beat.
Nathan Karate down to the final turn 12 before the little kink that forms turn 13 onto the Brock straight, and he will win 2 from 2 to take the mini challenge out at Sandown. Denyer second, Paul Stokel in third. That's important for the championship.
Absolutely. So the 2 Deco Rug guys on the podium there. Daniel looks a little bit disappointed with that. He knew he had a chance, but he blew it. So congratulations to Karate.
Thumbs up from Grant. The racing's still going on. Last corner, Andrew Fisher tries to sneak a spot on James Tompkins. And you don't fight with a bloke who's 6'6".
Especially if you're only 5'2".
Nathan Karate takes race 3 from Denyer and Stokel. James Tompkins did a great job. He finished in 9th, clear of Andrew Fisher at the end. Now, there's some post-race concerns regarding potentially illegal brake pads in the Nathan Karate car. So if indeed it's found that he's guilty of that offence and removed from the race 3 results, that will promote Denyer, Stokel and Bargwanna to the podium for the weekend.
And potentially another 1-2 for the Deco Rug guys. So the integrity of the category is very important. These cars are identical, so it's all smiles on the podium at the moment. That could change during the week.
In terms of the championship, it's all smiles for Paul Stokel. He leads the way comfortably from his teammate Grant Denyer. Scott Bargwanna sits third at the halfway point, but Chris Alajajan has taken a tumble down the point score.